Showmax has brought us another Durban-based reality television show, and of course, if it is set in Durban, I am watching it. And this show is called The Mummy Club, Sugar and Spice. Now, why Sugar and Spice? Well, it's because the cast is almost 100% Indian, darling. So yes, we're getting some sugar and spice from our cast members. If the name The Mummy Club sounds familiar to you, that's because a few months ago we saw the ending of season 2 of the original Mummy Club, which was based in Johannesburg, with cast members such as Mrs. Mops, Ratile, and Happy Similane. And that one, the original Mummy Club, turned out to be quite dramatic, I must say. Now, the format of the Mummy Club is very similar to that of the Real Housewives franchise, in the sense that a group of rich women, very rich and successful women, is brought together. Some of them already know each other, some of them are meeting each other because of the show. They interact with one another, they host parties, meetings, luncheons, and the likes, just for them to keep interacting with each other with cameras around, and we are given a show. If somebody turns out to be dramatic and starts throwing shade, then we got drama. With the Mummy Club Sugar and Spice, I think they were going for a show that is very mature, very relaxing, very demure, very mindful, that it's just not doing too much, you know. I think that's what they were going for, because a lot of the ladies conduct themselves in that manner. Most of these ladies are not going into any interaction looking for drama and looking for spice. Who are the ladies? Who are the cast members? It's quite a lot of ladies, I must say. When I watched the first episode, I was quite overwhelmed. I was like, too many ladies. They kept introducing a person, and you meet this lady, you meet her children, you meet her husband. There was a lot of people. I was overwhelmed. But now, as of episode 5, when I am making this video, I now know who's who in this setup. Now I'm going to divide these ladies into 2 groups, the slightly older group and the slightly younger group. Starting with the slightly older group, we have Davina, she's 43 years old. We have Natasha, she's 36 years old. I know she's not that old, but anyways, I put her here. We have Abigail, she's 31 years old. We have Lenore, 45. Worth mentioning with Lenore, she's the only colored person in this cast. Everybody else is Indian. And then we have the twins, and they are Losh and Rash, and they are 46 years old. They look so good. All these ladies look so good for their age group. Now, moving on to the younger ladies, we have Asharia, she's 27 years old, and we have Kim, who is 33 years old. Also worth mentioning about Kim is that she's the only one who's not a mummy yet. She is still pregnant. And last but not least, introducing the lady of the show, Christina, the youngest one of them all, and she is 26 years old. And she acts like the baby of the group. Now, at the risk of repeating myself, all these ladies are very calm. All these ladies are very mature and very friendly whenever they are interacting with each other. As of episode 5, they mostly are just loving on one another, appreciating one another. Easy entertainment. We are seeing these ladies interact with their families, having family dinner, taking their children out, dropping their children off to school. Nothing really worth dwelling on that does not include Christina. Okay, this is Christina's show. The Mummy Club Sugar and Spice? No, it is Christina and the Mummy Club Sugar and Spice. Do not get it twisted, okay? From the first episode, Christina was the one person that I took away, and this lady, okay, she was also very shady. I was looking forward to seeing more of her, but she was only there for like the first and second episode. I mean, I understand she's not a mummy, but I want them to bring her back somehow. I liked, even though she was coming across as a little bit judgmental and classist, but you know, a little bit of drama, I don't mind. Now, let me get on to Christina, the lady whom is always and forever followed by drama. Christina was introduced to the show by Asharia. I think they met for the first time at Asharia's house. And already Asharia was like, something isn't about this lady, you know. But Asharia didn't dwell on that. The next episode, Christina was then part of the bigger group as they were having the first major event, which was Kim's baby shower. And Christina just stole the spotlight, okay? She was monopolizing the conversations. She was interjecting when other people were talking. She was not self-aware. You know, like when you are in a group of many people, a group with like so many people around the table, you have to speak, but then step back and let other people speak. Christina was not doing that. Whatever subject matter was on the table, she felt that she has to say the most, and she was saying the most. And the weird thing about it is that it seemed very unconscious. It seemed like she just wasn't aware that she was doing that. At that episode, I excused it as maybe she's nervous and she doesn't know how to act because of the nerves and so on. But the other ladies around the table, just had an issue with it. Like, Christina's not letting us talk. Christina is interjecting when some of us are trying to have a conversation. Even when people were talking to each other, and on that side there's another conversation with Christina, Christina would then jump to this conversation. Like, she wanted to be the center of it all, which, yeah, it's exhausting. Christina was even overpowering the lady of the moment. Many instances, Kim was just sitting there listening to Christina. It was no longer a Kim show, it was now a Christina show. So she didn't endear herself very well with the ladies. Later on in a different scene, the twins Losh and Rash met up with Lenore to debrief and talk, and the ladies were talking about, Christina really was monopolizing the conversation, not letting other people get an opportunity to, air their opinions as well. And the ladies agreed that Lenore, since she's firm and yet calm, must be the one to just bring it up to Christina on a side and talk to Christina and just bring it to her attention, because everybody was like, maybe she's not self-aware. Even when they were talking about her, they were very kind. They were not really mean, like, how dare she, how could she? No, they were very kind, and they were still giving her a lot of grace. The next big gathering was Lenore's party. Lenore was launching her business, styled by Lenore, darling. It was beautiful. The setup, the venue, everything was top notch. Lenore's daughter was the MC. Such a beautiful integration of her family into her event. I loved it. And then Lenore started talking about herself, her history, and her business. So we reached a point where Lenore talks about the fact that she once entered a beauty pageant, which she won. A Miss India something, Miss India South Africa, Miss India Natal, I don't know, and she won it as a colored lady. And she at that point she had already explained her lineage, that her grandfather is Indian and her grandmother is Zulu and blah 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 and so on and so forth. But our main lady Christina felt a need to say something about the fact that even though Lenore is not 100% Indian, it's so brave of her to have entered that competition of Miss India, blah, 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 that she had to prove this and prove that and what not. And Lenore remained calm. But Christina kept sitting on that point and kept talking on it to the point that Lenore was like, what do you mean? No, it wasn't like that at all. It's nothing like that at all. If you look at the photo, the other princesses who were there were also colored. I was not the only colored person that entered and whatnot. But Christina was dead set on explaining herself to the point that to Lenore it got offensive. It started coming across as racist. And so Lenore took Christina aside for them to talk about it, for Lenore to just explain to Christina, when you are saying this is how I'm receiving it. For Christina, instead of her to receive the information and remain calm and be like, oh, I hear you, I'll stop, or even apologize, she didn't. She just kept defending herself, which dug the grave even deeper for her. And Lenore kept trying to explain to her, no, this is why this is offensive. You need to be careful when you speak like this, like this. And now Christina was getting offended, throwing around words like, you're not my mother, you can't tell me that, da, 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 da. On Lenore's part, she then moved away from talking about herself to then moving on to discuss the grievance that the other ladies have with Christina, that she's always interjecting. She doesn't let everybody speak. She's not self-aware. She just needs to be able to read the room and also let other people get an opportunity to shine. Whether about Christina, she will defend herself. Whether she's right or wrong, she will defend herself, and she was defending herself. It got really tense and loud between the two of them, and they were now both sort of being shady to one another, even though Lenore will dial it down and calm down. But Christina wasn't. Christina even called Lenore old and whatnot. And at some point, their discussion came back to the main table. And Lenore did a little bit of a recap. And while Lenore is recapping their side discussion, Christina is interjecting. And Lenore is like, you see, this is what I was talking to you about. And at some point, the other ladies were like, no, it's Lenore's party. Let Lenore speak. And then when it came to it, that Lenore said, even the other ladies have a challenge with the fact that you don't let them speak. And the other ladies agreed. Christina got offended. Christina was not happy, and Christina continued to defend herself. At some point, she got up and she was like, you know what, enjoy your party, blah, blah, blah. And she went away, and she went and she left. She went home, darling. She left the party early. I'm glad she did. She needed to calm down. She was really worked up at that point. She was really in her feelings at that point, you know. So for her to go home, it was a good call, because she had already ruined the atmosphere of the party. The vibe was not the same anymore as it was at the beginning. But anyways, you would think that is all. You would think, you know, Christina has learned a lesson. Christina's not going to start any other drama, is not going to be poking at anybody else. Honey, who you think this is? This is Christina. Christina will fight, okay? So the next person to try and have a calm conversation with Christina is Kim, the pregnant lady. So Kim invites Christina, and this is the previous episode, episode 5. Kim invites Christina out for a picnic. She goes, I think, to Woolies, buys some fruits and some snacks and some juice, and she brings a carpet from her house and whatnot and does the entire setup. Anyways, they sit down and the conversation starts weird but calm, you know. They're checking on each other, how's this, how's that. But very quickly, it starts being sarcastic, condescending. You know, it has that air of, we are not being 100% authentic with one another here. Kim is trying to bring it to Christina's attention that, you know, when you and Lenore were having a go at it, perhaps you were wrong in this regard, and perhaps you were wrong in this regard, trying to be diplomatic with it. But Christina was just not having it. The only thing that Christina admitted to was the fact that she was wrong in calling Lenore old. But besides that, she had no remorse, no sympathy, and did not feel like she had anything else to apologize for. She will stand up for herself and stuff like that. And very quickly, she started being, what is the word? Should I say shady towards Kim, dissing the whole picnic setup, saying like, why did you invite me to this picnic? You didn't even bring a plate. You brought me here. Look at these strawberries. You didn't even wash these strawberries. She's touching everything. She's taking it out of its containers and throwing it on the carpet. She's picking up the grapes. She's like, look at this, darling. The grapes are not even washed. It was so shady. Kim was just looking at her like, at some point, Kim asked, do you think you are acting very mature right now? She was talking about things like she will behave if people behave around her. If they invite her to parties, she will show up, but people better behave and she will also behave. Like, you could tell, like, Christina go fight for herself. And from Christina's point of view, they are starting with her. She's not starting with them. She's not doing anything wrong. So as long as the others don't do her wrong, she won't do them wrong, honey. But anyways, at some point, they reached the decision to end this little picnic that was a dismal fail, and Christina walks away. When Christina walks away, Kim calls one of the twins, I don't know which one it was, Losh or Resh, and starts giving her like, girl, you don't know what I've just been through. The weirdest thing happened. And Christina comes back. Why does she come back? She's talking about she lost her bank card and whatnot. Why would your bank card be on the picnic? You came later. You were not part of setting up what. It was just a little bit weird, and Kim was starting to feel awkward and feel uncomfortable, might have been blowing things out of proportion. Christina was never going to do anything to her physically. So yeah, Kim was overreacting there a little bit. That's it. You see, Christina is the one who brings the drama. All the other ladies thus far remain calm, stay calm. I'm gonna keep watching. I think new episodes air every Thursday, and I'm just gonna keep watching, enjoying the show, enjoying the opulence. Because that's one word, honey, opulence. These ladies are moneyed. These ladies are successful. I mean, one of the twins, I'm not sure which one it is, her daughter, for her 18th birthday, she bought her daughter a Porsche. Can I get a Porsche for my 41st birthday? Wow, but yeah, that's it. It's cool and chilled reality television show until Christina comes onto the screen. I'm loving it. I'm enjoying it. If you've made it this far in this video, please bless me by subscribing. And if you have any opinions on the Mommy Club Sugar and Spice, let me know below. Thank you so much. Goodbye.